begin. Let's begin. No, it's not restart. Let's begin. If only Kinky Games were allowed by Twitch. If only. You appear to be missing some chests. How about that? So I tidied things up a little bit in between last time and now. This thing's actually finished building. I tweaked these a little bit so they only take 2 instead of 3. I'm trying to just generally get things running again. Yeah, it turns out there was no fuel delivery at all over here. This thing wasn't even delivering fuel. I mean, this thing can't really deliver fuel on an industrial scale anyway. Banding effect. Random can do the same thing 10 times in a row? That is true. Random does mean that it can do the same thing 10 times in a row. Generally, though, with random on this kind of thing, you want it to do something different every time, not the same thing every time. Trouble is, it probably doesn't have that specified in it. That's a traffic jam. If I ever saw one. What's going on up here? Not much, I take it. Not really. Just can't get the circuits up. That was one that we're discussing, probably needing to ramp it up to double length trains. Technically correct. Was this madness? No head? Amazing! You're right, actually. No head drummings. It also occurred to me that I don't really need much of an output router here, in theory. I don't know. It seems like the more I think about it, the more I think that the bigger the scale, the more necessary an input and output stacker is. On a smaller scale, that wouldn't be necessary. Maybe an entry one, but not an exit one. Because an entry one, everything's going to back up on the outputs. And they're not going to send the trains back out again to the outposts. But once you get to this sort of scale, with so many unloads, you got to start worrying about unloads being tied up by trains waiting to go out. Because the game, I don't know if it creates a FIFO queue for sending trains out to waiting outposts. I don't know if it does that. I should have actually asked Boss Kid. Ah, my ear. Info's not sitting right. That's better. That's a little bit better. Seems like you only need it when you pause things. Yeah, it seems... You certainly need the entry ones to stop a long-distance train tying up a unload. I think the entry ones, entry routing definitely. You probably don't need a full stacker, but I've seen this thing back up all the way down, so it seems to suggest it is necessary.
11 mohodaip.
Ethan, 30 months tier 1. Thank you very much for that. Show some love and hype and honk in chat there. Please, for Geeson. Throwing down that 30 months. Again, almost 3 years. That sit just won't sit flat. Problem is, if there's an air gap, I can hear too much of myself, and because I adjust my level by how much I hear myself, and if I start hearing myself too much, then I start talking quieter. And you don't want that now, do you? You don't want ASMR stream. It was like the old days with the old, the original headset that I had. Because I could hear too much of myself, so it was the ASMR stream. Every time. Sunny Honey Bunny with the 40 months. Tell your phone, like, so I didn't have to phone. And I didn't have to wait long. Ah. Can't miss the lovely koala. And Sunny Honey Bunny with the 14 months. Just throwing down the big one right there. Hey, Super Chips here too. Can we show some love and hype and more honks? Honk 2s or honk 3s? Take your pick. For Sunny Honey Bunny, throwing down 40 months. One of the OGs right there. Why didn't that go off? Really appreciate that. 14 months. Every month for since the middle of 2017, Sunny Honey Bunny's been here. Or SHB, whichever you prefer. How are we doing here? What are you missing? You're missing furnaces and things. Don't think you've heard Honk 3 yet? Well, there was Honk 2. I don't know how... I don't get how the... There it is. And there's a classic one. See, that one didn't have a cooldown associated with it, but... I don't get how the bot works, how it decides whether or not to have a cooldown. All the honk. Okay, it's feeling generous today. It actually wants to do all the honks. Alright, so... Yeah, we're not up to honk 4 yet. We're only up to honk 3. Ooh, you're going up. Yeah, so we're starting to build up science again, slowly. Blue science probably needs a little bit of help. What are you, actually? You're iron plate. Waiting on iron plate. I might need to deal with the iron situation. So silly honk 2 and 3 on your headsets. It's even sillier when because you don't have any control over it. Oh yeah, those trains are tied up in there. I guess given if you keep doing honk 4, eventually honk 4 will appear. Yeah, I think first point of call is to update the iron system, iron ore trains to do the same thing. So we just need to, we're train limit, read stop train. We're doing that. Actually, what I'll do is I'll grab a copy of the entire thing. We'll try not to get flattened. I'm actually considering the same thing here as well, just to help get them down. And I sort of started poking it. At the same time, I'm also tempted to expand these out to 16 long, so 16 in, 16 out. But that's a major undertaking. That's a very significant undertaking. Probably mean dumping a lot of plate. They would have to empty out the entire map of all plate. It's actually a fairly involved ordeal. And something on a completely other random topic. On Saturday, I want to do oxygen not included. I was originally wanting to do transport fever. 0. Yeah. L of 1. L of 1. Yeah, I was originally planning transport fever. Wait, you don't have a wire. You don't have a wire. Yeah, I was originally planning Transport Fever and we continue on with that map, but now that I got the DLC, I want to give that a go. We can have a look at that. What plate command? I thought I did. Just odd because this didn't have a wire, and it should have. It might actually explain a lot. Set train limit L. Yep, limit of 1. Hey, it's a JD, please. Hi. How you doing? And flip. And flip. Aw. Game's mean. Also, I only want some crap, not all the crap. We'll get rid of him. That and that and probably that. Actually, no, we do need that. Yeah. Oh, it is actually near the top, so it may have affected it that way. What's going on, JD? Oh yeah, and I still need to set the entry system. Alright, just waiting for the house to get quiet so I can go back to Kate. Bessie. Okay. Oh, all of these are actually afflicted. Hmm. Yeah, none of these have their wire connected. Hmm. And I'm doing it wrong. Something. You go away. We're in modern times now. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, we'll probably have to drain all these out. And delete all copper plate from the world. Oh, yeah, that's true. Do it that way. That is very true. Kill a train on the move. Number of train stops divided by number of trains equals trains. Hmm. A tinkle about that for a tickle. Hello, autosave. Number of train stops divided by number of trains equals trains limit per stop. Wouldn't that basically mean a whole number depending on... So if you had 10 trains divided by... Or 10 stops divided by 10 trains, that would be a train limit of 1 per stop. If you had 20 trains and 10 stops, there would be 2 per stop. But yeah, I think it's the other way around. In fact, when I say I think, it is the other. It's the wrong way around. It's yeah, inverted. You'd also need to do the round down of that as well, in theory. I think because you wouldn't be able to round. Would you round it? Could you round it naturally? You can honk it naturally. 7 trains, 11 stops. Then you need more. Then you clearly have insufficient more faster, and therefore you need more. And lucky last. These don't need to enable disable, so that actually beans that up. Yeah, you only need to do that. Okay. And you, and you. Now they're all going to be pre-allocated to trains all over the map. Actually, where's that Spidey? There's that Spidey. Right, deadlock with that logic. No one can move because everyone is set somewhere already. Yeah, that's the theory behind these input-outputs that I was thinking. Alright. I see we don't need to type in all that crap anymore, but it probably takes about the same amount of time. Let's get rid of the track. is probably all it needs. How far away is Spidey? Spidey is there. Although thinking about spiders, I saw in the news there was a house in Queensland, or this family in Queensland. They were awoken to a whole lot of noise in their bathroom, and a python had come in through the window. Tell, hi. How you doing? This hulking great python just swanned in. It's like the most Queensland thing you'd ever see. AK-90. A honking python, yes. Doing okay? Next door neighbour was outside screaming for no reason a bit ago. That okay. Whatever boats your float, I guess, for the neighbour. Are you out of stops? Yes. Well, that's mildly inconvenient. Out of here, Spidey. Go, and don't come back until you find more. Why is that so backed up? Kind of insane. This wasn't snakes on a plane. That is true. Now, first step. Iron. Iron outpost. Train stop limit 2. Out of here. Outpost. Iron outpost. Stone, not the one I want. Outpost. Sorry, AK. I've never actually seen snakes on a plane. I know it was always, it's like one of the original memes is about how bad that movie is. I don't know how actually bad it is though. Oops. Can I control Z that? Well, ball sacks. There we go. Hopefully that didn't break anything. Seriously bad in a good way? Kind of stupid idea. It did look like a stupid idea. It was kind of, I think it was kind of a weird time because thrillers like that were pretty common. Like dumb action thrillers. What was it? Trying to think of another one that was like it. I want to say Passenger 57. Not bad, no. On Air was like that. Similar sort of thing. On Air was, in all honesty, pretty dumb as well. It was very badly written. You... I don't actually remember Passenger 57, but I'm pretty sure it's actually basically the same thing as Con Air. One line, yeah. Excellent. Bring me the things and the stuff and the junk. Yeah, it's just thrillers like that used to be pretty well a thing. I guess The Fugitive is also like that. It's not really about the story, it's about the action. And that sort of fell away by the early 2000s. That the idea of having just do something with a loose plot attached to it. like The Fugitive. Do you know what made The Fugitive? It's Tommy Lee Jones. And who was the dude who did who was doing the actual Fugitive? Like, it was all the actors that actually made the movie. Like, if you didn't have, but particularly Tommy Lee Jones. No, I'm at 900 degrees. Speaking of planes, what do you think of that show that was done? Yeah, I know I'm 900. 1080s. I need to downscale from. I'm downscaling from 1440. Harrison Ford. Or was it Harrison Ford who did? Was it really? I mean, that would also explain it. Harrison Ford. Like, hello. He was. Huh. For some reason I didn't picture him as doing it. Started streaming 1440. Ooh, big moves. I suppose you could probably get away with it 30, but I want the frame rate, and frame rate doesn't really like it's frame rate doesn't like low bit rates, so you could probably get away with 14. You probably barely get away with 1440 at 30 at like 6 or 8, probably 8. But yeah, they're doing even 900. The 4 megabits really low. You really need like 8. If it was to do 1080, you're looking more like 16 or 18 megabit. 1440, yeah, it's just nicer to look at. It's just nice to have the smoothness, the smooth butteriness. Especially when the game is actually running at 60 FPS, UPS. Also, Spidey Pants is here. I mean, you get away with Factorio at 30. Factorio doesn't need a 1440 stream. Twitch doesn't really support anything beyond 1080. Even, although realistically, because they cap the bitrate at 10 megabits, you can't go over 10 megabits. There's no incentive to do anything more than like 720 or so. You can go over 10 megabits. Having said that, it just takes away the source setting. Okay. How did I get all the train stops? Instead, has been delayed, so Glorious 480 up from 360. At least it's a small upgrade. Surprise rainstorms are good at killing internet. Right, let's bring you down here. Flush them. No, them. Liz Spideys. Okay, let's start from the top. We want hold. And we want entry. And we want sneeze. Oh, big sneeze. I watch a lot of high-res streams that don't have transcoding, so the internet for it. It is surprising. Like, a lot of people say it's not really an issue anymore. It is still genuinely an issue. Streams being in too high of a bit rate. Hold. No, entry, hold, unload, hold. There we go. Yep. You. Also, you go to hold. It looks like I noticed this last time, it looks like the orders don't override anymore. Dunzo. See, it keeps the old order. It doesn't change it to anything else. Although I think it is technically the same as what the other train was. It was more apparent in the yeah, you're fine. More apparent. Oh no, never mind. What? It's probably all allocated. Probably all yeeted. Oh, you have a microwave link? Yeah. A friend of mine way back in the day had a 64K, I think it was 900 or 950 megahertz connection. And yeah, it was fine as long as the weather was clear, but then he'd run into all kinds of problems as soon as the weather turned. Particularly didn't like snow. This dude that I knew was in the US. More bandwidth. Yeah. There's not enough time to compress for the processing power. Although I mean there are ways around it. You can throw more and more processing power at the problem, but it only works to a point. Transcoding is yes, that is one thing YouTube does really well. Does it even give you a source option on YouTube? I don't think it does. Oh, there's as well as that, also transcoding. You can't do non-linear compression very easily. What's it about? It's called Manifest. Don't recognize it. Yeah, so when you're transcoding it, well, there is a little bit of back and forth, but it's usually within the same GOP between iframe or IDRs or iframes. Oh yeah, the larger delay is because they do more transcoding, and there's other things as well because they run it by content ID, and I suspect they do more aggressive compression, which is why it takes so long. Yeah, you agree with that actually. Yeah, but normally when you're transcoding, if you can have the encoder look ahead like 60 or 90 frames and then go back again 90 frames, you can do a much better job of compression than looking at each frame as it comes in, frame out. And that's the frame in, frame out is basically how this encoding works. And that's why if I do that, it goes to crap. Goes all pixelated. Because it can't. There is a little bit of look ahead, as I say, it's within the same GOP though. It can't look ahead because the frames that it wants to look ahead to haven't happened yet in time. It can only look at what's happening now. Well, it can actually delay it and then do a bit, but as I say, only within the same GOP until the next iframe. Anyway, moving swiftly along. Some more iron trains are showing up. Showed it up. Oh, that's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. Well, let's copy one of these. There should be a bit. They added the supernatural stuff. It started going down. When they start throwing in all the twists, make it keep it fresh. Hold, 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 hold. I have 20. You have 34. I'm missing 14. Alrighty, that should keep it moving. I'm really liking this feature. This feature is this thingy that does the stuff, the train stop limits. It's definitely simplified things. Oh no, that was definitely set to go to hold that time. Hold. Unload, 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 unload. Hold. Hey, we cleared the jam. Trouble is now, there was all these random trains, I think, trying to go, yeah, no? No. Okay, never mind. That's concerning, there's a lot of rocket fuel trains waiting. Oh, they're, I think there's just, yeah, no? It's just busy. Okay, it's just busy. I was like, I wonder if trains were trying to go round. No, it's just busy. Just busy. To hold. Oop, you are going to hold. Hold. Fine, these will want to go to hold, like so. Not yet. 1.1.1, yeah. Well, 1.1.0 for me. Okay, should have expected. They go full natural in the premise of phone disappeared for 5 years and everyone who was on the plane. Sounds familiar. I've heard that before. I must have seen it advertised at least once somewhere. 26:34. Okay, so there's still 8 to go. Yeah, see, this is fully backed up. Fully stonked. That's holding up these. I'm just going to assume that that spider is actually ready to go. Send him down there and expand it. Oh, it got released 10 minutes ago. What do they change? Have a look. God damn, where the hell is it? I got like 50 million discords now. Impossible to find anything. Forums. Boop. There it is. Folders, they help? Yeah, I probably should do that. There, do. Edit tooltip with list of all possible ingredients. Go to empty furnace input. Sound slider control to the main menu, tips and tricks, simulation volumes, add interface option, ID change, quick slot, performance regression with transport lines in large groups. Huh. Missing free play script reload. Outdated tutorial preview. These are all pretty, like, apart from the transport line regression thing, these are all pretty minimal. macOS build cannot do HTTPS requests. I mean, no loss, it's only macOS. Trains could reuse reservation when switching to next schedule. Record with the same name. Ah. Interesting. I wonder if my outpost trains can do that. Oh, I need to do that to the outpost trains too. Crash due to transport time groups consistently with entities removed due to mod removal. Typos in introduction tips and tricks simulation lure. Oops. That's a little bit of an oopsie. So, blueprint building could build underground belt ghost on top of different underground belt. Oh. Huh. It tries to place it even though it's already there. Huh. Funny one. Renaming station window bug? Which one was that? I don't think I caught it. Previously then on PC, I can't post multiple photos when the same message in a photo. Phone users can. You should be able to. I've done multiple in one post on desktop. Anyway, let's flip back here. I need to get rid of these trains. Ford refuses to let you. It's just mean, isn't it? Hold. 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 No pathing, so hold. Hold. What are we at? 34 versus 31, so 3 to go. And that'll be these 3 down here. Okay, let's stop you. Unload. No, manual. Stay manual. Manual, that. Manual, that. Yeah, because they lose their reservation. Technically, in both cases, Discord is just it's just a HTML5 thing. 34 and 34. Spidey pants go. I think I parked them over there, actually. No, yes, I did. Extra 4, I think. I need to get a few more things on this. Electron app, which is a Chromium browser. Okay, I knew it was sat inside a Chromium browser. I thought it was just straight HTML5 or something. I should probably release these trains too. Probably a good idea. Oh, you're done. Am I actually faster than the spider? I'm kind of curious. Maybe it's a problem with Factorio only. It skips frames, recordings only sometimes. Any ideas? Well, the solution so far has been low on the max render threads. Factorio. Set the frame rate to... Set your canvas frame rate in OBS to 59.94 or 29.9, whatever. So all monitors have a dirty little secret. They don't actually... 60 hertz refresh rate isn't actually 60 hertz. It's actually 59.94. That's because they use the same stuff as TVs inside them. 29.97, that's the one. Because it's half of 59.94. To get it at 60, you have to run the monitor at 120. Only shows up in Factorio? Yeah, I had the same problem. Used to get this every 6 seconds, I get a stutter. Every 6 seconds, and it was because you actually should see it. Oh, it's hard to tell on this one because it's bubbling up and down. And also the monitor's running at 120. Like it's running in proper... Ooh, let's not get too close to that train now. Yeah, but yeah, really, really old LCD monitors should still actually do genuine 60. Like, it does exist, but for whatever reason, all modern monitors do 59.94. If you actually go through the timing specs, you actually see, they actually say, if you have a CRT, it actually CRTs will run at 60 hertz because you just tell it what frequency to run it and it just does it. As long as it's within the minimum and maximum horizontal frequency it allows. There is such a thing as scanning too low. Lowering max render threads? Not sure. Unless it might be something else, but usually stuttering and that kind of thing is a frame rate mismatch in OBS. I can't remember the exact explanation, but they used the power frequency. Yeah, horizontal's 35 kilohertz, I think, normally. Can't remember off the top of my head. That's the base frequency for TV spec. They don't actually synchronize off the clock, but they synchronize the grid because in the early days of TV, the peak brightness. So all the studio lights are running on AC power as well, and the peak brightness is when it's at the peak of the cycle. So if you synchronize the peak with when you're doing the center that's scanning across the center of the screen, you get the most light out of those studio lights. That's my understanding. I'm not sure if it's true though. I read it somewhere, and as I say, I've never been able to verify it. But it's not synchronized because it's not as such synchronized. Like TV receivers, they just have their own local oscillator and all that. At least nowadays, like this is really old, like 1950s stuff. Anything more modern, like once you get into color TV or even 70s, that it's all crystal locked, or even just whatever local oscillator locked. They don't bother with using the power frequency anymore. As I say, I'm pretty sure it was something to do with the incandescent lighting. And as soon as they stopped using incandescent lighting, problem went away. Something about oscillator being slightly lower than it was into. Yeah, that was too. So it's kind of dumb because it is actually 60 hertz, but there's this blanking interval in between each V-sync, which pushes it down slightly. For some reason, for anyone who's been around for any length of time, this is one thing I always point out. For some reason, everyone gets it wrong. TV is 50 hertz or 60 hertz. 50 frames a second, 60 frames a second. It's not 25 or 30. Because there's one VSync every 16 milliseconds for 60 for North America, NTSC, and there's one VSync every 20 milliseconds for PAL. They'll both interlace. Yeah, the idea of the interlace is you scan the first frame, so the first 16 or 20 milliseconds, you scan one frame, and then you scan in between the other frame for the other VSync. And the reason for that is because of the afterglow in the iconoscopes. They were too slow to change to the change in light. So effectively, you're running that line of phosphor on the iconoscope surface. Phosphor? No, it's a iconoscopes were a silver matrix, or like a silver grid, silver plated grid. But yeah, film is 24 because film stock is a finite resource. Where the hell was I going? I was going over here. Herman, how you doing? Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff. There's a whole lot of stuff to get color in with NTSC because NTSC used amplitude encoding, AM encoding on top of the AM encoded TV signal. Why is this all backed up? I think it's time I clean this up too. Maybe a history lesson and take at the same time? I mean, where is it? There it is. I mean, I can demonstrate it with that thing. That there. Like, that thing has 3 tubes and a giant optical prism in it. Oh, where's my thing? There it is. I kicked my thing. For anyone who hasn't seen it, hang on. There. For anyone who hasn't seen it, there. That is a giant camera. Right there. 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 That spleens is sitting on top of, right there. Yes, a classic webcam. Classic webcam of the 1974 vintage. think it was 1974. Am I printing now in red? So I'm making a little holder for my socket set because the socket set came loose. This was a test run, and as you can see, what I did was I made little nobules for the thing to plug into. That's a little bit oversized. Also, that's oversized because this stuff's crap. This clear, it's crap. But I got the this little thing that hang on, where is it? There. I got that right, so it snaps in there. But yeah, the things that snaps into the little blocks for the quarter-inch what do they call it? Retainer? Ever? Doesn't look into that. Yeah, I loaded in the red just before. Actually, how's it going? Ah, crap. There we go. Muted. I kicked the mute thing. It's the quarter-inch drive for the square nub. Yeah, I kicked the mute thing. Alright, anyway. So... Hello, train. You need to go. You need to go. You need to go. That all definitely needs to go. Right about here. Gotta love how I basically only ever half-ass everything around here. Never actually finish anything. Still just this janky old run in. I can just make the whole thing straight now. Mute foot pedal sounds like a great idea. It is a great idea. Like, do you want to see it? For no reason whatsoever, I can show it. I've already committed to it. Yeah, see? Mute foot pedal. Now you hear me? Now you hear me? Again. It's called a foot pedal and it's on Amazon. One of them is Discord mute. One's Discord deafen, the other one's mute. There's a few variations you can get on Amazon. You. Oop, hello, train. Alright. Did I? I didn't. I did not. I does not. Thought about making a foot pedal? I thought about making one, and then there was like all the effort of doing... Oh yeah, it is actually locked to that. Yeah, I thought about doing one, and then I didn't want to have to... Then I realised I'd have to deal with USB heads and crap, and I was like, I can't be bothered. Right, we'll get rid of all of you. All of you. Pretty much all of this too. Yeah, it was about 70. 60. Actually, I didn't pay 70. It was a little bit cheaper than that. It's a very useful little thing, though. Dealing with the bugs and overhead, yeah. It was more than US dollars. It was a brief moment, but it was a nice one. Not that it really amounted to anything. Are these actually the right way around? No. No, they're not. What I should have done from the very start was that. It's not like 2013 where they were pretty close and it meant pretty damn competitive PC hardware deals. Alright, scoop these up. See if we order so much crap when I with more. 2013, 2012, 2013 was a good time to buy stuff. You get like a GTX 670 for $300 or something. I mean, graphics cards alone back then were a lot cheaper than they are now. But it was still, like, normally they were, a decent card back then was pushing 400 or 500. Good times. Yep. Probably should get this sorted out sooner rather than later before the trains get exceedingly angry. Canadian's worth more. Hasn't it bounced back now? I've been hearing about it, been talking about it constantly today, that it's reached an all-time high in years. No, that was a Dow. It was over 30,000 points, that's it. For the first time in a long time. Yeah, it's one of those things where you want to see it stable for a while before you really celebrate. Okay. You... I'm using these. In fact, undo that. .73, it's back to where it normally hovers. Always hovers somewhere around in the 70s normally. Not that one, this one. Okay, you, yeet, and done. And probably, oh, okay, they can't actually drive down here right now, right yet. My book of crap. Hold my book of crap. Containing these random blueprints that probably everyone wants. Damn it, tree, get out of the way. Time to get back into buying gold. $1.19, get €1. I'd like to see the euro come down one day. Needs to be brought back down to something sane. I imagine the Germans might have something to say about that, though. Okay. Well, at least things are moving here. Right, I'm gonna cut that. To the right now. Come on, train. Shoo, shoo, get out of here. I'm gonna do that. Yep. Not you, you. Extend this. And Extendo Maximo. Blurp, blurp. There. Yep, incoming. Coming death train of deathness. Just have to wait for greaser. Pretty much, yes. You there. You go there. And we're pretty much done. Ah, crap. Boop, boop, boop. You're gone all quiet like. Look how much overpriced consoles are here. PS5, Xbox Series, Fallout everywhere, and there. Oh, here they're 750. Yeah, they make such a killing on the markup. The Switch is still inflated as well. They were going for a lot, like a lot, not long ago, earlier in the year. Yeah, well, I'm just going to drop those there, like that. Import tariffs in Brazil. 2x, 3x MSRP, damn. I haven't even looked at what's going on with the PS5 here. Skip that. I guess that. There. Two, 4. And 4. Alright, that should get everyone moving again eventually. Oh dear. I need to deal with that. This takes so long to do everything around here. Where are you? Right there. Software, it's okay. You don't need the software. You only need the software to configure what the switches do. You don't need the software running for it to work. But it is a bit janky though. But as I say, it's just fortunate that it doesn't. Don't need it to actually drive the pedal. Yeah, the pedal is its own head, and you actually burn into its. You actually write to it what it actually does. That's because there's no copper moving. No copper move. There's no copper moving because I've got a few too many. I've got a few too many thingies there. Oopsie. There's jingling bells I can hear. Oh, it's the thing. Oh. Oh, steady on. Train's moving. Yep. Eat. Just gotta move it now. There. Bam. And bam. You can probably see yourself. Can't have that now, can we? There and there. Please don't crash into anything. Please don't crash into anything. Please don't. Thank you. Right, let's tidy these up. Yeah. Delightful. Overhead code for Arduino 18 mega something. I actually had a 18 mega USB thing specifically for it. An actual dev kit somewhere. Doop and boop. Blurp. Yeah, it's like pulling teeth or something. There we go. There's always going to be one. Well, I guess it can stay broken up like that. 30 Mega 32U or something. I don't actually remember. Or Mega 88U maybe, because the 32U is actually pretty old. 32s are ancient. There we go. And it's not really helping the situation. Probably. Signal in the second lane. There we go. Took a moment to see it. Finally caught it. Yeah. Can't get this bloody logjam cleared if you keep blocking the path. There we go. I'm gonna need more. More, I says. Aww. Summon the spider. Spider cures all problems. Yay. Train pulls up. What if it did move the combinator closer to the stack? Okay, I might be able to queue up a few more trains. Combine it close to the stacker. Why? The way where I had it right there is the center of the smelter overall. I could also make it flat, admittedly, instead of diagonal one. That one's probably better. I'm gonna hazard a guess. That is actually. I mean, at least everything's moving. Problem is this base doesn't really want to stop moving. Also, the problem is that. In fact, why is it doing that? Mega 84? Yeah, Mega 84 is a fair. Or Mega 84, 88. 80, I thought it was 88. Well, they're the modern versions of the old ones. Like the Mega 8s, 16, 32, 64s, 128s. Ancient, those things. Anyway, at least we're getting science done. I guess. Were. It's 99%. It also knows we do get a percentage now. Tiny 85. Tinies are fun. I have a lot of tiny 45s. They can do a lot of interesting little things. Little 8-pin things. Probably still have a bunch of them lying around somewhere. There we go, start looking. I had one as a fan controller at one point for driving a booster cooling fan for one of my old graphics cards. It was running a PWM driver, and the fan I had it mounted. It was a big blower from an old Dell cooler. I had it mounted underneath the video card. It would just pull more. The blower would just suck more air through the card than what the card's internal blower could do. Okay, so why are you doing that? I mean, the endpoint's kind of wonky. Probably not helping. Pull you forward. Does that change anything? Actually, I think you're meant to be there too. Done PWM? Nice. Tinies, Atmels are really good for PWM. Or at least they were back in the day. There we go. That's what's wrong. 555s. The true mastery of the when you truly master the PWM on the 555 is when you use the CV pin to modulate. There's proper V2 chips, kind of wild because it's an 8-core microcontroller. Damn! That's fancy. Okay, so at least cleared that. They're doing their thing. That train shouldn't really sit there. Okay. Why are they going forward? They not. They don't. Why are you pulling forward? Because there's a signal there. There's a squignal there. That makes sense. Triple nickel. I think I've only ever done the CV thing once. I still don't really know how to use it on the 555. It's not a very well documented feature. Very few people talk about it. Right stuff, and you farm out, you pair them to other stuff, other cores, leave it processing other cores. You shouldn't need to, like, a decent micro PWM, you should usually... This is true with the case with the Atmels, because they have so many PWM channels. They have a hardware PWM, you just tell it what to do, what frequency to operate at, and it just does it, and it has the output compare, hardware to modulate and everything. And it doesn't need any manual intervention after that, other than to change the frequency. Problem with the Arduino stuff, I don't know if they fixed it, but it would actually do, instead of doing hardware PWM, the PWM libraries would just do software PWM. There's also limitations with a lot of the higher channels on the Atmel chip, which is true of some of the ARM-based processors too. Like it says, it's got 8 PWM channels, and on 2 of them, it only has 2 output compare clocks, or two PWM clocks, and all the other channels would be, it'd be so it'd be 2 real channels, and then there'd be 3 sort of secondary ones running on the same clock. So it'd be 4 I can't even say PWM now. There'd be 4 on one clock and 4 on another or something. Or 2 on one and 1, and then a third clock which just runs the other 6 or 8 or whatever. So you'd have to manage it in software. I believe it was the M0s and M3s like to do that. Some ASM for the switch to hardware timers. Oh, there was no no compiler extensions for it or something. Almost done. Let's deal with over here. You're actually not big enough too. It's impressive when you see this thing fully backed. Script or anything and does it wrong. Sounds about right for the Arduino library. I mean, in saying that, the Arduino library is not as bad now as it used to be, but it was always rough. The in the early days, the Arduino, someone benchmarked the digital ins and outs, and they were like, it was found that it was 700 times slower, something like that. It was taking like hundreds of microseconds to do what would normally be one clock cycle. It was just really cumbersome. There's just a lot of code that didn't really need to do anything, wasn't really needed. Well, heavy threads define the movement targets. Oh, more like PID. There's a running PID. Yeah, they're more like running a PID than a than the actual PWM. Yeah, PID. Yeah, that's a whole different barrel. Barrel of fun. All right, we're starting to move again here. You can clearly see I've got was it 34? Let's have 34. Okay, so both got 34, but you can clearly see we've got some limitations going on with the iron supply. Be nice to lash into some more here. I mean, now that I've cooled off on the biters, set them to peaceful, we can actually focus a little bit more. Crazy Dolfino. Hi, what kind of game is this? This is called Factorio, a crazy factory building game. It's all about building a factory. Oh, so what happens in this game is the idea is you're meant to smelt some stuff and craft some stuff, just like Minecraft. And then you use that stuff to then make better stuff, which means you can mine faster and craft more stuff. And then it goes on from there, where... Oh yeah, I haven't... It came out just after I started. And so what happens is you go through this cycle of mining more, crafting, smelting more, crafting more, mining more, crafting more, smelting more, to make more and more stuff. Then you end up with this lovely long factory chain that you then spend days of your life optimizing. Because no matter what you do, there's always a little improvement you can make here and there. Like, you start playing it and then, like, you will lose the whole day. And then that's when what we call the Factorio kicks in. Yeah, there is a demo you can check out, which is kind of unusual for games these days. If you want to dive in. Yeah, you will lose a day. What will happen is you play the demo. The demo is kind of limited as well, but it does give you a pretty good taste. But it certainly doesn't open up into this sort of free play scale, because the game is based around free play. Alright. Pie pants. Ooh, I haven't made any of that crap in a while. Making anything. Then this is where it begins. Oh, right, down here. Alright, why aren't you making anything? You need circuits. Which more games had demos? There was actually I saw a piece describing why demos are not a thing anymore. And more on this comes down to it's more development time. Overall, there's very little payoff for the extra effort. Oh yeah, Extra Credits did do a video. I think this is actually similar sort of vein. I think it's actually what I'm repeating. It might actually be that. Like, there's very little payoff. Players go do and they're rare. Creeper World 4 is one such game. Oh yeah, Creeper World 4. I released one not too long ago. But yeah, there's not a lot of payoff for doing a demo. There's more work for the development that's pulled away from the actual game. You're putting out something, a teaser for free, which doesn't necessarily turn into conversions into sales. If anything, you're more likely to turn people away. You're either going to reinforce people who are already keen on it, or you're going to turn people away who are already on the fence. Alright, let's create that. Another one up there. 1 in 6? So, yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah, it's. I remember them saying that there was just there was very little incentive. It just didn't make sense to do it. Okay. How many more is there? I made a lot of these trains. Made a lot of these trains. I'll deal with this. I think I know how. I think I've got a stratagem. Dang it, one off. Go. Demos don't often convert you from looking to buying. That's actually the normal. That's the typical case for a demo. It doesn't really change your mind. And that's why there's so little payoff for a demo. Just throws some signals randomly down. 8 days Creeper World 4 drops. It is actually coming. Ooh, this is interesting. This is an interesting development. I didn't realize I hadn't heard that he actually announced that he was going to do it. Do the thing. At that. Get rid of that. That. Oh, you can't go there. Well, we get one more at least. Oop. I actually have played the demo, and it's cool. I do like Creeper World. At the same time, it does just for whatever reason for me, Creeper World 4 just didn't have the staying power. Didn't have the sticking power that the previous games had. Creeper World 3 had on me. And that worries me. I think it might be a one and done game for me. Which would be unfortunate. You can slide closer. Yeah. December 3 is listed on Steam. Ooh. Okay. That's true, actually. He was planning on releasing later this year, come to think of it. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. Alright, how far can I reverse you? Is it enough? No. How about we go forward? And then turn. I said turn. You turning? You are turning. Very good. Oh, hi train. Bye train. That's Steam. It's on my Steam wishlist. Conveniently. Well, they got that moving again. Well, did get it moving again. 400 games. It's a lot of games. Alright, let's try this again. This is going to need a bit of wibbly wobbly to sort it out though. There. About. Let's take this whole thing up. Take it to there. There. Hey, okay, it's a Factorio indeed. Put the brakes on The Witcher 2. We can play around with the new features in Factorio, and then we'll go back to Witcher 2 next week. That is actually the plan. And Oxygen not included on the weekend. Don't forget that. Or any other time. I might try and sneak one in tomorrow. Oh, what do I do tomorrow if I sneak one in? Maybe do the starting of Oni. Do the foundations and get familiar with the thing, if I can. If I can. That's actually meant to go there. Like that. There's text and I haven't read it yet. Get the alpha access? Apparently I did. I'm not entirely sure how. So I wasn't getting it for the longest time, and then suddenly, apparently I got it. Train spaghetti is best spaghetti? It is! Gotta love it when it's just, uh-oh. When it's, product of necessity as well. Particularly when you throw far, far too many trains at the problem. Oh dear. Oh, I wonder how really hot in here today. Trains are moving. Maybe there was like a queue? I could do that too, and just make a linear queue instead of a stacker. Stackers are usually the easiest solution to these things. Alright, now we've got to get everything up and running again. Just got to wait for it to spin the wheels. Get the wheels turning again. I need to make all these trains twice as long, which is going to be a pain. I really don't want to do it. But it is necessary to get the base running properly. Like, I made the trains too small for what they are. What is the science per minute? Currently, I think we're at 0. But the target is 8. Oh, for Oni, because wasn't there for a lot of people trying to get access. Oh, maybe, I don't know. Apparently they're all doing them at random. 416. So for ore, maybe. For ore, maybe. For plate, 416 is probably necessary. The problem is I based this off the 12k base, but they used, the thing I forgot about that was that you did use Factorio extended trains, not regular trains. Which is a bit of a problem. Because those hold quite a little bit more. Those hold 5,000. Not 2,000. You can tell it's hot because I'm tearing through the water. So we get 5 of the packs at 4 of the packs at almost at full speed, and one of the lab groups are running. One's not running. Red's running. Green. You're probably waiting on intermediates, you are. You're waiting on intermediates as well, I'm guessing, yep. And you're running. Thusly. Yeah, 8,500-ish. Should be like 8,600 or something. Wait to stack as last enough. The turnaround time is just too short. Problem is it needs a train every like 30 seconds for a lot of this stuff. Why isn't that one going? Those two specifically are holding up everything else. Radiant shortage, just missing solar panels. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I was just waiting on solar. Lurking it up. Don't have an AC? Do have an AC, it's just a warm day. But the problem is I've got all the PCs going and the printer going, which is making things hot around here. It's only like that doesn't tell me. Having large enough trains in the network, which means large enough stackers. The real problem is it's the circuit trains. They just can't come in fast enough. Yeah, it's 20 degrees right now. Like no matter what, the circuit trains just can't move fast enough. These things just can't exchange fast enough. Oh, peace and quiet. See, most of these are empty because the train, as I say, the trains just can't get through in enough time. How many trains is there? There's 44. There's 44 plate trains, and it's not enough. Just to give you an idea of how crazy it is. I mean, the whole shared inventory thing probably not helping. How people figure themselves out and bugging me via email where I have to do the job for them. Wait for the train to double their top speed. It's one way. Yeah, there's just so many plate trains for circus needed. It just doesn't. 20 degrees of warm hides in Queensland. Quiet you. There may be a lack of ore supply, like this. The whole A and B. Oh, that train's still broken. Yeah, this whole split into two trains doesn't help. Jetta's large format. Now. I think we're just going to wait until the next bottleneck comes up. Anyway, one moment, please. Oh, it's a spicy meatball. It's a spicy meatball. Very hot. So it came out really nice, though. Yeah, there. Eee, nice and tidy. A little bit of... I don't know if you can see that. There's hang on. Let's get the rectifier to point at it. There. There. Didn't fill in that section there. It's a very thin area though there. There's another one I think there as well. I'm pointing the camera very well. I gotta get a good angle on the light there. Run the diode straight through it. Ah. There, you can probably see that lead goes straight through the hole. It's just a gap there. Many times there's plenty to choose from. Anyway, the dream is that the 1/4 inch goes thusly. Ooh, snaps in nicely. It's a little loose actually, but the bit of friction on the on the thing around. Yeah, a little socket holder because my socket set didn't come with one. Yeah, fancy. Now you get to watch me assemble the whole thing. Ooh, that one doesn't sit right. Yeah, this one's a little sloppy compared to the first one. That's also the 10mm. Yeah, that one there's a 10mm. 8. Boop. 6. There's a 7. Nope, 5. That. There's a 7 there. And yeah. Does it feel good to have these sorted? I've had these for a really long time and they've always lived in a plastic bag. Oh, that hole's too tight actually. Interesting. The 7's oversized. 5? 5? 5.5? 4.5? 4.5? Hang on, 4.5? Clank. 5, yeah. I thought it counted 10. Oh, yeah, here we go. I do actually have 10. I can count. Fear thee not, I can count. Yeah, there's definitely some inconsistencies in this. There we go. Anyway, now it holds them nominally. A bunch of them that are loose. Yeah, this one's the smaller one's completely loose. And the 8 won't stay. Oh, it seems to be a bit bigger than the rest for some reason. Yeah. Not a bad result. It's the second attempt. First one was too big. This one, getting better. I'll give it another crack tomorrow, perhaps. Anyway, pop that. I was actually wondering which would be better, whether I have a friction around the side or cylinder around the side to hold it in, retain it, or use the 1/4 inch nobule. 1/4 inch nobule seems better, but because it should be consistent across all thingies, all of the drivers. Whereas the outside diameter is always going to be different. Anyway, how are we looking here? I've actually got trains lining up by the looks of that. Oh, unloads to go to. Thrusting. How's that? Oh. Where's you? Right there. Okay, you can come over here. Okay, game. 3. Probably name it in the time it gets here. I can name it faster than I can copy and paste them. Although I'm doing it pretty incompetently right now. Me yawning? Alrighty. Sure, okay, you're Among Us being in 3D printer. I don't know if I did. I think I did. I don't remember now. See, it's funny that he actually bought a similar one that I bought not long after I got this one. He got the next one up from what I have. He got the Ender 5. Which was my original pick. Ender 5 Ender 5? Yeah, Ender 5 V2 or Pro was my original choice. And then went with the 3. Hey Deb. Hi. Hey, Space Exploration got the compatibility. You want to make one? Oh yeah, actually, speaking of, I was experimenting. I found someone had made a drag chain thing on Thingiverse, so I thought I'd give it a go. I might. This thing is um, it's poorly. I hadn't used poor quality print settings, and also I used this clear plastic, which is crap. Oh, just detached it. Yeah, actually, if it was done with high quality, high resolution print, it would actually come out really nice. Yeah, this thing doesn't even sit flat because it does kind of pivot. It's the makings of a drag chain at least. Guy's in his own, doesn't realise how adorable he is. Usually this stuff scares people away. So yeah, see it's got a curve in it because it won't sit flat, like there, because it's just so rough. But yeah, it does kind of bend. I think I did 4 links. This thing, 4 or 5 links, just as a test, and 2 end pieces. It's really cool that someone actually went to the trouble of making one of these. Yeah, if I was to print this in red or black or in a proper color, that'd be really good. Yeah, I like it though. I like it though. There's another piece that sits on top, and it you can use it as a retainer. I guess could just use cable ties really. That printed this inside. So they start off individually as links like that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and there and there. So there's all the links, and there's the end pieces. The whole thing dismantles into that. Yeah, yeah, it's all PLA. I'm gonna reassemble that later. Look at that, trains going everywhere. We'd like to see. Broke it. Fine. Start with the end piece. There. Start with the end piece, and it just snaps into place. It's like Lego. Should try printing some Lego. Well, that's kind of sacrilege. There. 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 Last link goes in there, like so. So this stuff just snaps together. Like that. And there's the end piece. There. And there's a stringy bit of plastic there. Because this stuff is horrible. There you go. One assembled drag chain again. More expensive than PLA, but has some other benefits. ABS is more resistant to weather, environmental. That PLA is good for basic stuff. It's also ABS gives off a lot of fumes. It runs at higher it needs higher temperatures to extrude it. It's also pretty hard wearing on the extruder nozzle itself, because PLA is basically just made of sugar, or something like that. Yeah. So it's really, you don't. It's basic. Yeah, that's it. Starch is what I'm thinking of. It's made of starch, so it's technically biodegradable. It's easy to work with. It is technically kind of brittle, but at the same time, I mean, this thing, I can't even bend it, so it's fine. There's actually another material called ASA, and that's that's similar to ABS, but it's actually a lot nicer as well. I got some stuff here that's made of ASA somewhere. Classes are getting annoying. Eyes are bad tonight. They're causing problems, are they? My eyes are a constant hassle. Problem is without glasses, I don't see anything. The meows of attention, eh? Actually, I'm thinking of oxygen not included. I'll have to dust off the cube as well. Okay, you're moving. How are we doing for science? Kinda making those. Cheap pasta. Technically, this PLA that I have is food safe. Kitties need snuggles. Sometimes kitties need attention, eh? 1 minute. This doesn't say a lot. Why are you just burping along? Oh, down here needs attention, I think. Where's this train? Actually, only one of them. That might explain a lot. Yeah, that's ABS. PLA for most 3D printing is, I would say, is preferred. Even though there are a lot of limitations with it, like for the most part, PLA is fine. Can't see it. I take glasses off and boob. Something else? Would you be surprised? Slightly. Yes, I've been slightly annoyed for the stealing of the glasses, and then probably make up with it with the boobs. Yeah, PLA is better for fast prototyping, and ABS it's good for stuff that needs to be out in the environment. But at the end of the day, as I say, ASA is better than ABS. It's basically ABS with less drawbacks. I'm gonna do something up here. What was I gonna do? Oh right, you. Right. Like that. Slide them down gently. Yeah, you actually paste trains much easier in this. Meant to do that. I forgot. I also probably could have just pasted the train orders. It's actually cooling down in here now that the printer's off. Come on. There you go. And away you go. Here's the red build. Can you run full speed? Mostly inertia. I probably should plug them in at some point. It's surprising how little that it's actually. It's because the base hasn't been able to run consistently long enough to actually need all the reds yet. I mean, you do make a point though. I do need to plug it all in. Eventually. Eventually. Yeah, I think it's only ever gotten. It did get up to 8K briefly, and then it collapsed. I think it was actually all iron plate supply that failed it. As I say, like the where they 3D print 5 meter high statue concrete. Oh yeah, the concrete 3D printing. Same principles, just scaled up. The limitation I think is using the 2 8 plate trains. I think I should have used 416s. I think that would have been better. Oh yeah, it's not. Yeah, it will be a bottleneck, but it's just not a bottleneck yet. It actually hasn't been a bottleneck yet. Amazingly. Having said that, I might become one soon. Pretty whole village in Kenya. For the most part, it was steel and copper into like low density. That was the previous bottleneck. In fact, its inconsistent supply there means it probably still is. Is it actually still warm enough for that there? Isn't it like freezing temperatures there yet? There's also a huge amount of red stored in here. Snow. Is this sintering? Laser sintering. I'm trying to think. The first printer I ever saw suspended a powder within a laser beam. These were the original 3D printers that I saw. I mean, technically 3D printers have been around since the 80s. But I think these were the ones before plastic extrusion was a thing. Yeah, you can do DMD, direct metal deposition now too. Eat the white fluffy stuff. That's actually now lining. Yeah. Alright. You're actually right. You're starting to see trains lining up for red circuits. Might be time. Might be time. You know what this needs? This needs the same system. We've arrived. They're actually all running. Okay, yeah. Yeah, basically need to do the same train thing over here, and that might actually get the thing moving. It's not the face. It's in your face constantly. Uh, Dash the fox. Sweak it. Rain. Entry. Seems to be all I do is playing around with the trains in in this map. It's a bad place to stand. Away with ye. Hold it there for a tickle. Yeah, there. There. Actually, wow. Greater than 0, and in there. Oh, we have a problem. We have a problem. There we go. It's a feature. No, that it's an oscillator. Uh, Gotta make sure I actually assign the right trains. Yeah, that's a plastic train. I can't change that one. Oh, good. It's actually the right one. It's also a plastic train. Okay, 20k cost 20k. That's an odd frequency. Unload plus. Yeah, 8,000 signs a minute. It's a lofty goal, and mistakes were made along the way. Few mistakes were made along the way. I trained. Enthusiastic, or something. There. You. AK Spidertrons a minute. The dream is keeping the dream alive. 5 versus 44. Got a little bit of a way to go. If only it meant Spidertrons per minute, but even what was it? 100 Spidertrons a minute is pretty lofty. It's like 4K a minute science equivalent. I was wondering how long it'd take you until you triggered that. AK is fun. Thank you very much for that. 8,192 biddies there, Martel. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that. A huge amount of bits right there. It's not quite 8 bits. It's 8,000. It's not 8 bits. It's 8 kilobits worth of biddies right there. I can't remember if that was the only one. I think it's the only one I did so far. It's 1 kilobyte. It is. And there's more honk. I'm not actually sure how loud that was. I have a feeling that was actually pretty damn loud too. Alright, I need to set that. Floop that. Alright, away with ye. Right, you need inspection. Fine, you can pass. You shall pass. Shall pass. You shall not pass. Alright, you shall pass. All the honks. It's fine. Wrong Fibonacci. This is going to take quite a while. Trouble is that I'm going to be really pedantic about it too. You're one. Just trying to catch them all. Like Pokedoodles. Pokemoons. Pokedoodles? Pokemons? Ikimons? Oh, did I... Oh no, it's fine. I thought I just assigned one of the copper plastic trains to walker means? Yes. Walk without means? Walk with means? You're fine. I have a feeling most of them are in the stacker now, or lined up behind it. It's about 31 out of, what was it, 44. Still 13 trains missing. So they're probably mostly in there. 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, they are. You. I see what you did there. Hold it. You need to be inspected. There we go. Poopy water mains? Oh, they are. Right, you're clear to go. Oh. Hi. Bella the midget. You didn't save. Yeah. It was actually right, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Fine, fine. Fine. Oh, it's already 10 o'clock. Spent hours doing this crap. Yeah, fine. Way with ye. Oh. Copper, sugar pan, the order from Amazon to be delivered, so I walked over to the package. They're playing the old, your package has arrived, failed successfully. Hey, it's so far. Way with ye. Time's the stream end? In a few minutes. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Only 9 p.m? 10 p.m. You and your non-daylight savings land of spiders and snakes in the bathroom. Right, what are we up to? 37. Must be getting close. 38. There's only 6 left. It's fun. I mean, all we've done so far is just play with the train stop limits as yet. Speaking of Amazon, I mentioned this on the Discord. That Behringer audio interface, the 8-channel one, has appeared it's reappeared in stock, and it's still the same price. I'm still wondering whether or not I should actually get it, because technically that's an $800, $900 interface, and it's actually even cheaper than the 4-input version. At the same time, it's a lot of money to throw at something that may or may not even be delivered. Like, why is this thing being sold for a third of the price? That's the thing that puzzles me and slightly worries me. Like, why is this thing going for less than the 4-input version? What, are they going out the window? Like, are they returns? Are they dumping stock? What's the deal? That is actually 144. That's the thing. Sugar pan yours from legit manufacturer? It's just Amazon playing buggeries with the notifications. Although normally normally delivery notifications are handed over to the shipping company. You can't rely on them. At least that's how it would work here. Is that I'm turning it on off and on because I want to inspect the orders of each train as they come through. So I'm just letting them through one by one. Okay, yeah, use USPS. Because normally you'll get more reliable information from the shipper themselves than Amazon. The shipper just passes back the information to say that it's been delivered. So then reports on. So and that's normally how it goes here, is I have a feeling the others are getting around. Now I've got to find the boogers. One. Having said that, that's the sort of thing where Amazon can say when something's been delivered. It seems to be more reliable in the US than over here. Same with eBay. Probably should have gone through them on the stacker instead of doing it this way the entire time. Was it? 44... so there's only 2 left. No, not you. There's also times when the post office is being funny buggers, where go over and ask them if the packages. This actually happened to me. This happened to me a few times where I ask them if the package has arrived, and they say nope, and it has arrived. They do have it. It was full. There's one. Okay, 4 now. Just be 1 left somewhere. Not you. Not you. Not you. Not you. Problem is that it may be stuck in the traffic jam back here and may never be able to escape. Scarpe. There it is. If I just do that, done. So that should now say 44, 44, and this should say, god dang it, 44. Away with ye. So now, what I can do, say train stop limit 1. Recently ordered destination ship from warehouse, California, and destination of in California. Went through Maryland. That is a significant quantity of WTF right there. How the hell does that even happen? Someone just trying to run up the miles on the distances or something? So what I was looking at. Here. This. Yeah, 305. As I say, like the 4 version, or the 2 channel is about, you know, it sits around 100. The 4 channel one sits around 400. I mean, the Tascam 8 channel, or it says 16, but it's 8 channel, is around 500, 600. So that's still double the price of this thing. It just seems low for what it is. It's like how produce here gets collected and shipped around the world before making its way onto the shelves. Yeah, it just seems really low. And it's like £100 in UK money. It's like £150, which again seems low. It's an audio interface, So it's basically an external sound card that musicians use. Let's see, we want to turn that off, set train limit, stop train. Yeah, it's so big as rank mount as well. And the thing with it is it has 8 channels in and 8 channels out. So you can have 8 independent audio channels in and out attached to the PC, which is very useful. Overpriced about 2 times the usual price. Okay, so it really is actually, like, you can find the thing on Amazon UK for the equivalent UK price, but it just seems odd because normally, hang on, in fact, if I do a search for anything local, is that one? No, I copied it wrong. 1820. Yeah, so yeah, you're right actually. So the 404 should be 200. The 1820 should be 400. 450. Okay, 400, 500. So it's still that puts my mind at ease because it's not as under as much. Yeah, it's hitting about for stores here it's hitting about 450, 400 to 450. Okay. Restaurant components from Mouser. They are yeah. They're good at that. Mouser are good at that. Okay. Out of 1. Let me get rid of that. Plug that wire into there. And you now have a train stop limit. Ship from Texas went through NM, AZ, good California, and sat there for 2 weeks, and then went back to Texas, and then back to California. Consumers have a right to return a package within 14 days, delivery, no questions asked, full refund. Except back shipping costs. I mean, as I say, like, I think I'm a little bit, like, I was more worried when the difference was higher. I think it might be okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you're hovering 9.8 minus 9.8. Something's not right. Are the green ships? Hey, how goes 1.1? Can you explain the changes? Does it help? Yeah, yes, the green circuits is divided up into, so first questions first, the green circuits. Each a half lane goes into a pair of green circuit assemblers, which then fills a line. And then there's 8 of these lines going down, and then 2 symmetric pairs to make 16 lanes total, and then it goes into 2 trains. So 1 train in, 1 train out. Come back here. So one wagon unloads here, comes down, goes into here to make this one belt of circuits, comes down here, goes into that wagon. tiny 85s and 84s. So yeah, so the idea of this build is that it never doesn't need balancing because everything's inherently consistently evenly balanced. So yeah, 1.1, a lot of things are changed, little things are changed. As you can see, like looking at the map view right now, quite a few things have changed here. You can actually see there's an add ping, add tag buttons here. We also have a percentage on research. It says feed me. So now we can actually show worker robots on the map, which normally was a debug feature. You'd have to bring up the F4 menu. Same with signals, you can do that now. It's a bit of clutter. And there's this thing, I didn't even know this was going to be a thing. Turn that on, and you actually see what the machines are making on the minimap. Really cool feature. That really helps, see? See that right there? That really helps visualize things. Right now, we're playing around with the train stop limiting function, which doing its thing. Negative, so it's outputting, yep. So the idea of the train stop limit, down here is probably the best way to show it. So this is a fully done system that I've done. You see it's blue because a train is allocated to it, so it's actually 1 of 0. Yeah, 1.1, not only is, so 1.1 experimental is out. We should add. If you're on Steam, you need to change the game to experimental. Yeah, 1.1, they actually released an update for it as well. So normally your game, if you're just running the normal game, it won't update. You need to check the experimental branch in the Steam betas. Otherwise, if you're not using Steam, you need to download the standalone version and update that way. Apparently, there's some issues with the standalone updater, which does tend to be a bit dicky. Don't know if it's set to experimental on Steam. Well, that's how you get it. It's by setting it to experimental. Pretty much always have it on experimental anyway. Experimental's usually 99.98% of the time perfectly safe and fine. There is that 0.1% chance when all of your trains crash into each other and disaster ensures. Train limiting works. It's actually really straightforward. So I'm actually using it by circuit network, but for the most part, what you do is you say, tick this box here, enable train stop limit, set it to a number you want. I've set it to 2 in this case. And yes, so you see how this says, so down there, on that little, where is it there? You actually see it says train limits, 2 out of 2. Train number 1, train number 2. Those are the 2 trains that are allocated to that are allowed to come to this stop. No other trains are allowed to come here. I'm actually waiting for this thing to fill up. Hurry up and fill up, damn it. There it goes. And now, we'll actually see another train will appear. Remember that patch? I'm surprised he didn't just close the game and just wait for Kvorix to fix his mess up. Yeah, and so that means that whenever train passes through this waypoint here, it'll get sent down here again. Probably one of these. Yeah, there it is. So now a second train's arrived. And yeah, that's the same for all of my outposts, is they're all set to 2 trains, and whenever, the way the trains are set up is they all have the same orders. So copper outpost, all the copper outposts are named the same. They all have the same orders here, so we have an entry waypoint and an exit waypoint. The reason for this, you don't strictly need these 2 for most maps. The reason I'm using the entry and exit is to stop a train pre-allocating or assigning themselves to an unload when they're coming from all the way up here. That's a long time for them to travel all the way across the map. So what it means is the trains won't assign themselves or allocate themselves to a stop until they pass this waypoint. Same with these waypoints here. So when the trains are exiting, see this one to go there, and there it goes. It's now been allocated to a stop up there. So it's now been allocated to that copper outpost. Where's about disappear? Hang on. So it's fairly I would say it's fairly straightforward. What it does is it looks for the nearest stop, which has a limit, a free slot in the limit. Next ones don't understand. What it means is that if all, so the other reason it needs the exit one is so the trains will pull out of the unload. If all of the outposts are full, the trains won't move. As you can see here, these are saying destination full. If these didn't have the entry, they would say destination full at the outpost, tying up the outposts. Which in turn means trains in the unload can't go out to outposts. And that's why you need these waypoints. But as I say, this is more of a problem for bigger maps like this map. So this is a problem that lies in this map. If you were to do a more normal, relatively speaking, game, you probably very likely won't need to deal with this. Like if you just had the equivalent of my starter base, what is that, like 4 and 4, probably won't need. It's a stacker, but it has waypoints. So if you give no orders, it behaves as a waypoint. You're breeding. Uh-oh. Someone's in heat. So yeah, the only reason you have the waypoints is to stop. There's two reasons for these waypoints: is to stop the train sitting, waiting for saying destination full at the train loading, and to stop them pre-allocating across a long distance, so they can't claim a stop and unload until they actually get here. The waypoints have the train limits? No. The waypoints are they're just normal train stops. So to make a train stop a waypoint, you just give it no orders. No orders. Just say it to go there, and it'll just drive straight through it. It won't even try and stop. It's actually a very useful feature. That was one that was snuck in, I think, in 18. The train waypoint. Was it 17? It was snuck in a while ago. It's something that I never really... Yeah, 17, and I never used it. I've known it's around for a while. Is it limit 2 in the stacker? I mean, you could set the limit on these, but it kind of defeats the purpose. Why does that stop moving? I can see one lot of chat, but not the other. There it goes. It just all flooped through at once. Download it from the website, but download tinkers. Shouldn't download that slowly. That's unusual. As I say, like, if you're on Steam, just set it to experimental. Yeah, you right click on the game, click properties, go to the betas tab. It's easy to do in Steam. Betas, experimental. I can't actually drop down the box because the game's running right now. Which is the other thing, you have to let... It's a common problem. It's a surprisingly common problem, is you have to actually quit the game for the update to, for the game to change version. You can't change it while the game's running. Be surprised how often that one's come up. I mean, think about doing it here too. It's already done here with the iron trains. The iron train's probably a better example because it's a little bit more busy. Oh, it's more feeding through. I also have an averaging system on it just to help guide them into the least used station. So when they're below average, it then lets the train go in. Working on a similar thing here. Oh dear. So if you set it to latest experimental, it'll always auto-update. So 1.1.1 is actually queued for me now. If you pick one of the specific ones, it actually even gives you a warning saying this is an unmaintained branch. Like, you won't receive updates from this. Zelda, gifting that sub to Zelfire. Thank you very much for that. Show some love and hype and honk. Lots of honk. The Zelfire. Also, that. I think... Doing that. Why? Oh, Oh, you're being difficult, eh? Confessions of a cat right there. Oh, there's double signal, that's why. Honk honk, infinity honk. Could do the pionk emotes if anyone's got those. If not, why not? How dare you not have pionk emotes? I guess Widgie owl emotes are a good runner-up. There we go. Either way, you just quickly redeem some with channel points. I'm thinking about turning mine back up. The whole emotes channel points thing's kinda lost its edge. I was keen to get them out, but sort of the thing with I know that this is getting on a whole tangent, but emotes are kind of polluted now. The meaning behind emotes is polluted because there's so many like global ones now, and the big channels have so many. Like it's easier to just go to a bigger channel than any random other person's. Fix the screen circuit, entry and exit. I really do, but I really don't want to. What I really want to do right now is go to bed. In fact, I'm going to do that to the point where I'm going to stop recording.